Gamers are amazing. I couldn't be happier with this company.
We absolutely love these cages.
One at a time, okay, guys? Hey guys, welcome to another Coturnix Corner Live. Glad you guys could join us today. Happy 4th of July to everyone. This is going to be a short live, guys, because I know probably a lot of you guys want to head off and, watch the fireworks or whatever. So we're going to keep this one short, just so I don't hold anybody up. I do have a few announcements to make, and then we're going to announce the winner today of the photo contest that we've been doing for the past week and a half over on the Facebook group page. First off, shout out to our sponsors, Southwest Game Birds and Hatching Time. Both these companies do a whole lot for the channel. I mean, they're always donating prizes and hatching eggs and giveaways, and so I really appreciate both of them. And you guys check them out, southwestgamebirds.com or hatchingtime.com. Kind of help them out because they're helping us out. Like I said earlier, we are going to be announcing the winner of the photo contest, and the winner is going to be getting their choice of Southwest Game Birds hatching eggs or Thieving Otter Farm hatching eggs, a $50 gift certificate, and a Coturnix Corner retro tumbler. They're going to get all three of those prizes, and well, I'll talk a little bit more about it when we get to it. But there was a lot of great photos, guys. Let's see. Talking about Hatching Time. I've been on the phone with Ryan last few days, and they sent me out some more gear to test out. But I want to say that for those of you who have the Hatching Time setups, they've done some product upgrades that are going to be coming out. I'm going to be testing them and doing a video on them probably within the next week. So keep an eye out for that. Let's see what else. Oh, and I've got a couple other videos that I'm working on right now that's coming up. Things I know, guys, have been really slow here on the channel. Apologize for that, but I got so much going on right now. It's hard to keep up with everything. And today is actually the last live stream that I'm doing using this software. This is a paid software that I've been using for the past couple of years. It works really well. I've even reached out to that company, to see if they couldn't give me a little bit better deal on, what they're charging me, because they're charging a pretty good chunk. So probably the next live is going to be using a different open source software. I'm sure you guys are familiar with OBS for those of you who do any streaming. I'm just now getting it figured out. We actually did a test stream, I don't know, about a week ago, maybe a little bit more, 2 weeks ago with it. And we had a few issues with like fuzziness, blurriness on the image, but I got that figured out. So it was one stupid setting that I had set wrong. So hopefully, unless I hear back from this software people, like I say, I'm going to end up having to change over to OBS. So it's still going to be the same live stream. It's just going to be a little bit different. Like when we have guests calling in, they can't call into the show like they would using this software. They have to use something like Skype, to get on the show. Also, the Coturnix Kids Project. We've been talking about it for the past couple weeks now, and I was actually hoping to select a winner this month because I have received a couple entries, and I was hoping to select a winner about the middle of this month or so, but I'm still running into an issue with finding a company to donate an incubator. I will say that we do have one company that I'm talking with. They were supposed to get back with me twice already, and they failed to do that. But they supposedly, we can get enough money from them, which will purchase the incubators, and either that or they can supply them. I don't know what they've got. But yeah, I mean, I really want to get the project going, guys, because I know that the kids, they deserve this. And I see Carmel says OBS Studio is great. Cool. Um, what was I saying? Oh, I really want to get the Coturnix Kids project going, but I don't want to start doing the giveaways until I have all the prizes locked in for at least a year. I know it's hard to get some companies to commit to that long. We have a couple. We have Hatching Time. They're giving away a cage system. It's a 2-unit cage system, and they're locked in for another year. And then we've got Thieving Otter Farms, and Southwest Game Birds, I believe, is donating a 1-year subscription to the coaching courses that Michael does over on CC Quail. So, yeah. I think that's about it for the announcements. Oh, I've been out working all day in the sun, guys. I am totally beat. My back's tore up. I don't know if you could tell I'm a little bit sunburned. Our heat index is like 110 today, so it was really hot. But I had a bunch of pressure washing to do, so at least there was a little bit of water. But anyhow, I had a bunch of my bees die off. And I don't know if it was, I'm pretty sure it was poisoning. I don't know if it was mosquito control because they've been spraying pretty heavily lately. If they're the ones doing it that are killing off my bees, or if somebody in the neighborhood is spraying flowers and the pollinators are going out getting into the flowers and then bringing that poison back to the hive. But anyhow, I've already lost 3 or 4 hives, and I tore them down, and I've been pressure washing everything out. I've got 1 hive left that I am going to. It actually started to die off this morning on that hive. Not as bad as the other ones, but I am going to, if I can keep them going, I'm going to try to split that hive and get at least 2 hives going. I don't know what I'm going to do. If anybody of you guys are familiar with bees, like I say, I'm a total newbie when it comes to bees. If anybody of you guys have had any experiences with die-offs, from specifically like pesticide poisoning, I would be really interested in hearing what you have to say as far as, what can I do to prevent it. I've already called mosquito control. They've got me on a list right now. It's a call list to where they're supposed to call me 24 hours before they spray. But I'm starting to lean towards it not being mosquito control, because they sprayed 7 days ago, and I have this hive out there now that's starting to die today. So that just doesn't make sense to me. I got a feeling somebody around me is spraying their garden or something, and it's killing off my bees. So, all right, that's about it out of me. I am going to go ahead. We'll jump in the chat room. I'm not going to read every comment. We're just going to take a few questions, and then I'm going to go ahead and announce the winners. Like I say, I want to keep this one short so you guys can go, spend time with your families on 4th of July, stuff like that. Go watch the fireworks. So let me see where we're at here. We do have quite a few people. If you guys do have any questions, type the letter Q in front of your question so I can find it. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot. We actually don't have that many people watching the live stream today anyhow. So everybody's getting ready for fireworks. They don't want to watch Terry. Let's see. Oh, we are going to be giving away, besides the prizes going to the photo contest winner, we are giving away some hatching eggs from Thieving Otter Farm. She's doing 20 counts now. Something to do with shipping. It makes it a lot easier on her for shipping. I think it's a little bit cheaper that way. But somebody is going to win a 20 count of Thieving Otter Farm hatching eggs. Let's see. David Smith's in the house. David, I see by Hazy Bees Honey, you have experience with honeybees. Maybe you can help me out a little bit on my problem with the pesticides poisoning. And like I say, I'm new and I really don't know what could be causing this. They've done so good for the first 2 or 3 months, and then all of a sudden this past week, everything's dying off on me. All right, let's see. Go. Let's see. Is that working? There we go. Go Yasu says, "Will hatching time be building meat quail cages?" Um, they actually do have the jumbo line now. That's another change that they've made. Instead of ordering their standard quail cage and asking for the jumbo flooring, I believe now what they're doing is just calling it a quail jumbo quail cage, which automatically comes with that flooring, so you don't have to specifically order it. And that flooring, that's what I have in all my hatching time cages, and it works really well for the jumbos. I don't have hardly any manure buildup at all. Um, it seems to be doing really well, which makes it a lot easier too. When you take the cages out and pressure wash it, you just hose them off real quick, and they do great. S. McKee's in the house says, "Hi everyone, 59 watching and only 15 likes." Well, we're up to 22, so guys, hit that like button and tell YouTube, that you like the content, and maybe they'll show it off a little bit more. Carmel C says OBS Studio is great. Yeah, it'll suffice for what I need it to do. I really like what I'm using now. It'll do a lot of stuff, and it's got its own interview mode right in the software, so it's great for bringing on guests. But like I say, for the money that I'm spending a year to use this software, I would just as soon, hang on to that money or save that money and, go with OBS or something if I have to. But hopefully, I've talked to them. I've been a pretty good customer of theirs, for going on 3 years now. I've also been one of their beta testers, kind of helped them out with that. So hopefully they'll do me right. We'll see. Goyesa wants to know if they ship to Africa. You're going to have to check with them. I know they ship overseas, but to South Africa, I cannot say. Paul says, "Could you suggest a site that I could get information on raising Georgia Giant bobwhites? I have 10 pair, 12 weeks old, in a flight pen at this time. Thank you. Enjoy watching your videos." Paul, the only one that I know that does bobwhites that could most likely help you out would be HP Murray at Gopher Ridge. I believe is the name of it. GopherRidgeQuail.com, I believe is his website. Check him out. If not, if he doesn't have anything on his website, reach out to HP, through Messenger or whatever. He's a really nice guy. He'll help you out. Danielle says, "Very poor signal driving home from vacation. Hubby driving. Hubby." Oh, that's good. Yeah, I hope you can check into the show, or at least be able to watch it. Otis says, "Sorry to hear about the bees." Yeah, it kind of sucks. I mean, I finally got it set up the way I wanted it. I got all the equipment and gear that I need, and now I'm to the point where, what's the use? If they're going to die off this simple or this easy, maybe I should just clean up all the gear and, post it and get out of it while I'm not too far into it. Little Wordies in the house is hi from Australia. Lifestyle Trucker says, "I'm new to your channel." Well, welcome. Glad you could join it. Dane Paget's in the house. Eric Dioff says, "Question: best source of supplement calcium for caged birds?" You can use, and I use them occasionally, regular oyster shell designed for chickens. They will pick through and take the pieces that are small enough for them to ingest. But I've also heard of people using like the what do you call those things? The calcium things that you hang inside a bird cage that they'll pick at that. I don't know if that really works or not. I've always just stuck with using the oyster shell, and it's worked pretty decent. And then make sure that you're on a good layer feed, that's got the appropriate amount of calcium that they need. Let's see, we already answered that one. Lifestyle Trucker says, I'm new to this type of business, would really want some eggs. Okay. Everyone wants to hear about, would like to win some eggs. Otis says, I'm wanting to do a single hatching time cage for van life. What is van life? Is that like living out of a van or something? That would be kind of interesting. Backyard Quail Keeper says, hi, I just recently hatched eggs. 5 quail hatched out, but they knocked the other pipping eggs over so they could not get out as they were facing down. Is there any way to counter this problem? Actually, you don't need to counter that problem because they do that. I mean, they basically play soccer with all the other eggs, but they'll hatch out. It doesn't matter the orientation. Like if they pip on one side, they're going to unzip the egg all the way around, and the end will pop off and they'll get out. So it doesn't matter that the eggs are being kicked around. It happens all the time. So. Dane says, I'm thinking of getting into keeping bees myself, doing all the research now. Yeah, bees are pretty cool, Dane. I mean, I never really wanted to get into them, but my dad, back when he was alive, he was always trying to, he kept bees, and he was always trying to get me to get started with bees. He sent me a bunch of books and stuff to learn up on them. And, after he passed away, I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a try and see how it works. And I did the same thing that studied, for probably a month or two before I actually reached out and got bees. But it's so disheartening to find out that, I mean, I've been inspected. I've had the state health or Department of Agriculture come out and inspect my bees. They said everything looked great. They were healthy. They were thriving, doing good. And then, 2 months later, I go out there and I find dead bees all over the place. And I took pictures and had, people look at them. They said, yeah, they were definitely poisoned one way or another, whether it was, mosquito control or somebody in my neighborhood spraying their garden or whatever. So, yeah, just be prepared for, heartbreak, because that's what it is when you get everything set up and then you go out there and find a whole bunch of them dead. And from what I'm finding, I'm in some groups on Facebook. I'm finding out that, it's not unusual to people to have die-offs. I mean, I had one guy say that he had an entire apiary of, I think, like 39 hives. He said they all just died. He figures they were poisoned, and but he stuck with it and got into it, and got into it the following year. He said some years are good, some years aren't. Oliver Cole says Thieving Otter has some amazing-looking birds. Yes, they do. Fat Country says, are you breeding any black quail? I was. I had some eggs that Thieving Otter Farm sent me actually back before she released them to the public. She kind of wanted me to just, one, to see how the shipping was going, and two, to kind of just test out the black lines and see how they were doing. And they did really well to start off with. The problem that I had lately was, this was probably after having them 6 months or so. My males either started losing fertility or started losing interest in the hens and weren't breeding with them. So I've got some new projects that I'm working on now. I really got to change what I'm doing, guys. I mean, I was going out there getting all these fancy color stuff, thinking that, yeah, I'll just, do mixes like a lot of people do. They sell mixes. And I thought, I had somebody send me some eggs, some jumbo pharaohs. So I think I'm going to go back to the basics and just start working with the jumbo pharaohs again and keep those lines nice and clean. John says, I got 120 more in the incubator. Congratulations. Good luck on the hatch. Go Yasu, I think it is. The water nipples that you use are great. Installed 60 of them yesterday. They didn't leak. Are you talking about the horizontal nipples that I change out for hatching time? Yes, they do work very well, and I don't have any issues with my birds converting over from the cups to the horizontal nipples. But I will tell you guys, I mentioned that hatching time has some product upgrades. One of the upgrades is the nipples. I don't want to say any more because there's several upgrades that they've made, and I want to wait until I get that equipment, and we'll do it in the video. So let's see. S. McGee says lifestyle. Oh, talk to lifestyle of a trucker. 33 now. Will be hatching in the fall. Terry Rice says Gale Squills. We have over 1,500 birds and 8 incubators going at the moment. That's a lot of birds. Let's see. Okay, here's David Smith. Terry, there isn't anything you can do when they get poisoned. The best prep you can do is ask your neighbors to use pollinator-friendly lawn and garden products at night. I've already done that. I've actually walked up and down the entire block talking with my neighbors, one, to see if they had sprayed, and two, to find out, what they were spraying with. But I was so convinced that it was mosquito control, because they sprayed on June 27th. On June 28th. They sprayed the evening of June 27th. The morning of the 28th, I went out, and one of the hives was devastated. I mean, there was hardly any life left in it. The other hive had a good pile of bees out front. And then over a period of 7 days, I lost, first I lost the first hive, then I lost the second, then I lost the third. And today I'm showing signs of poisoning on the fourth. So it really stinks. But what do you do? Like I say, I'm on a call list. So, if mosquitoes control sprays, they're going to call me, and supposedly I can cover my hives. But they also told me that the stuff that they spray, the reason they spray it at night is because it has a 30-minute daytime life. So when the sun comes out, that poison is only poisonous for 30 minutes before it's, no longer poisonous. So talk more about bees on a quail channel than anything. What the heck was that? Okay, let's see. Oliver Cole says, question, any good videos on cleaning, processing female quail? Processed my last group of quail, about to start again. Anatomy was expected on all but one. She has a couple white spots on her liver. Okay, anything spotted on the liver, I throw out. I mean, that's an issue. I mean, the liver's, filters out all that poison and stuff, and you don't want that. You don't want to be eating meat like that. I do have a video on Coturnix Corner on processing quail. Well, on butchering quail. You can check that out. I'm not sure if anybody else has any out there or not. I haven't really looked to see. Paul says, thank you. Bees cannot compete with humans. They poison the whole world. I never really gave it a second thought until I actually got bees. One of the main reasons, besides my dad being into bees, one of the main reasons that I wanted to get into them was we have a vegetable garden out back, and for the last couple of years, like I had 13 tomato plants that had blossoms all over the place. I got 3 tomatoes out of 13 plants last year. So that's telling me, somebody's not doing their job, or there's no pollinators out there to do it. So, that was one of the reasons I got into doing bees also. Child of God says, people spray for bugs, forgetting bees die too. No bees, no garden. Exactly. Oliver Cole says, I didn't want to keep her for myself or dogs, but I'm curious if there was something wrong or if she was okay. The liver should look, like liver, nice and clean, no spots, no nothing. Back when we used to raise rabbits, I did a lot of butchering for my dad. My dad actually raised rabbits. And any rabbit that had a discolored liver, spotty, off-colored, a greenish tint to it, cut the thing down, throw it in the scrap bucket. We didn't use it. We didn't eat it or anything. So to me, that's, a healthy liver is a sign of a healthy bird. So. World Tank Battle says, what if this gets 100 views? Well, we got 70 people watching now, so there's at least 70 views. On average, our live streams average anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500 views. Um, but you got to figure there's probably a lot of people that watch the live streams after it was live. So that's why, like tonight, I'm surprised we actually have 73 people watching now. Kind of surprising because I figured everybody would be out, doing the 4th of July thing, not watching Coturnix Corner. So, I'm glad. See, World Tank Battle says that cabinet incubator looks and sounds cool. If you're talking about the DIY incubator on the channel, it's great. I mean, it works good. So many people have built the thing. I kind of wish now I would have got a list of all the people, because so many people, email me or message me asking me questions about it. And I would like to have kept a running list just to have an idea of how many people have actually built it. But they have, I mean, like I say, I've probably answered several hundreds of emails about questions about building the incubator and how to do this, how to do that. So, there's quite a few of them out there. Lifestyle of a Trucker says, when is the best time to hatch eggs? With Coturnix, pretty much any time. I mean, my incubators run round the clock year round, so I don't never have any issues with them. If you're in an area, where winter might be a problem for you as far as, keeping the chicks warm, in a brooder because of extreme temperatures, you might want to, adjust your hatching schedule to that. But, for the most part, you can hatch year round. I know people up north, Michigan, Canada, whatever, they hatch year round and they don't have any problems. Let's see. Daniel says, are there any good videos for kids to learn about quail? My 6-year-old loses interest in the more adult content videos, but enjoys our quail with me in general. I don't know of any channels that have video content, specifically for kids. As a matter of fact, every time I upload a video to the channel, I have to answer one of YouTube's questions. Was this content created for kids? And if I answer yes, then there's a bunch of nonsense you got to go through. I don't know. They're trying to protect the children, which is good. World Tank Battle says, I am 11. Oh, 11 years. That's cool. I don't know if this is bass or base. Does it going to be a problem going to lockdown on day 16? I won't be able to go home. I won't be at home on the 15th. Yeah, I mean, you can lock them down actually on the 14th if you wanted. If you're going to be home on the 14th, put them in lockdown then and don't worry about them. The only problem, and I don't say it's going to be a problem, but I have seen eggs hatch out on the 16th day or on day 16. So if you're going to put them into lockdown on the 16th, I would prefer to see them locked down on the 13th or 14th. That way, you can bump your humidity up to where it needs to be. Because day 16, you're not going to really get your humidity. You can get the humidity up, but if a bird is going to hatch out on the 16th, they're not going to be exposed to that higher humidity level. So, yeah, if you can do it on the 14th, if not, and they haven't hatched out yet, yeah, the 16th is fine. Goyaso says, I have 300 jumbo quail, 3 weeks old. I need the rest of your question. If you have 3-week-old quail that are 300 grams, they're pheasants. I don't think that you've got 300-gram quail at 3 weeks. If you do, that's a really big bird. But you're wait a minute, you're in South Africa. Maybe you guys do have big ones over there. I don't know. Oliver Cole says, sorry, Terry, I'm sure I must have watched that video at some point and forgot. Okay. Oh, the butchering video? Right. Bob Cole's in the house. Hi, Terry. Using an infrared thermometer. What temp should the eggshells be? Incubator stable at 99.5 Egg temp looks like 97.6. Bob, yeah, honest with you, I've never. I would have thought by the incubator being 99.5 and the egg being in that environment for 2.5 weeks, that the eggshell and the contents of the egg would be at that temperature. Um, Maybe it's possible that that egg is in a position, a little bit of a cool spot in your incubator. Um, check some of the other eggs. But I mean, if you're holding at 99.5 and you're showing 97, yeah, it might delay your hatch a few days or a day, but I don't think it's going to hurt the embryo any. But and maybe put another thermometer in there, and that way you can actually uh, see what the internal temps. Make sure that your internal temps are matching what the regulator is saying, by using a thermometer. But if the eggshell is different, a different temperature, that would be surprising to me. Hazy Bees Honey says, sounds like you've done everything you can for your bees. The only thing left to do is close them up at night before and keep them that way until the coast is clear. 30-minute daylight window. Yeah, I kind of thought about that, but seeing as how one of my hives is dying like 7 or 8 days later than the time they sprayed, I'm kind of inclined to think that maybe they're flying somewhere and getting into somebody's garden that was sprayed, and or maybe even over to Home Depot. I mean, I've got a Home Depot a block away from me that's got a big garden center, and I don't know if I wouldn't think Home Depot would spray, but do the people that supply Home Depot with all the plants, do they spray their plants? And are my bees going over there? It's so hard to say. Danielle says, Oliver, the white spots on the liver is often coccidia. So there you go. I've never used a liver to diagnose a sickness, but that's pretty good if you can. Amanda says, question, best advice for keeping water system from freezing. Does anyone have a good winter water system for outdoor quail in the Northeast? I'm in New Jersey, zone 6B. Amanda, there is a live stream on Coturnix Corner. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's Coturnix Corner Live, and then heated circulated water system. One of our members set this up. She says it works really well. It looks like a pretty inexpensive, project to set up. So check that out. See if you can find that. See if that helps you. I'm not up north, so I don't have to worry about freezing water, so I don't worry about it. I know my brother-in-law, he's up in Michigan, and he's got chickens and now quail, but he's got like a heated, it's like your regular water basin for chickens, but it's got a heating element in it. I don't know how well that works, but Paul says, if you tap your tomato plant lightly with your finger, they'll self-pollinate. Good wishes from Blueberry Country in Michigan. Pollinators are definitely on the decline here. Have a great night. Appreciate that, Paul. Yeah, I actually had somebody else tell me the same thing. I'm just not going to go through my garden flicking the flowers and stuff trying to get them to self-pollinate. But there is a guy, I don't know where in Michigan you are. He's in central Michigan. And he's got a YouTube channel, does bee videos, and he's talking about crop farmers up there spraying. And he's got like 260 hives, and he's got or 260 colonies. He doesn't like saying hives; he likes saying colonies. The crop farmers are spraying, and then the wind is blowing it over onto his property, killing his bees, and yeah. Okay, not talking to me. HB's Honey says, can also put up signs on your property stating "Do not spray pollinator habitat." Yeah, like again, I say I don't think it's a problem with somebody near me spraying, because if it was, they would have to be, unless it's a really strong spray and every time it gets windy, it blows over on my property. But I know mosquito control went right down my road, and they got this big fogger that they spray the ditches when they have water standing in them. And what was I saying? Well, they spray the ditches, and they say that, they're spraying a larvicide. They say that that doesn't affect the adult bees, but I don't know. I'm just. Bob says I checked 6 eggs in different locations. I have a Govee in there too. Okay, Bob, if they're all running about the same temperature, and you do have another thermometer in there, I'm interested. What's the Govee reading? Is it reading the same as your regulator's reading, or is it reading the same thing that your infrared thermometer is reading? Bob says, by the way, my little giant went crazy. Temp jumped to 107. Tossed the eggs. Ordered Brinzy. Egg temp question concerning the new Brinzy. Okay. Yeah, well, Brinzies are supposedly really very accurate. They're just like the Baratos. I mean, they're factory calibrated. Everything is, it's state of the art electronics in it, solid state electronics. And usually, once they got them set, they're spot on. There's no need to adjust them because they're right on. So I doubt it's your incubator. Maybe test your infrared and against a known thing. Maybe that's off, giving you a faulty reading. Other than that, I don't know. Amanda says thank you. We'll check it out. Absolutely. Wow. Happy 4th of July, folks. Mark from the La Rochelle Farms in the house. We haven't seen him in a while. And absolutely, he says, been a while. Hello, Terry. He's a busy boy. He works all the time. So a circular underwater heat in a bucket and a recirculation. There you go. Lifestyle of a Trucker says, let's get to the prize. Yeah, we will shortly. So I got to keep you guys hanging around to find out who won. Govee is the same as the Brinzy, huh? 99.5. Okay, then the only other thing I can say, Bob, if it's normal for the eggshell to read a little bit less, why I wouldn't know why, because the contents of the egg should be 99.5. Test your infrared, see if that's accurate. Go Yasu says, I butchered one at 6 weeks old that weighed 550 grams. Quail farmer in South Africa are impressed because they couldn't get theirs to reach 300 grams even on the 9 weeks. Well, if you're getting quail to 550 grams at 6 weeks, I can't see it, to be honest with you, but congratulations if you are. Oh, this is an interesting one. Charles says, I use pulverized crab shells for calcium. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, and that's another thing, too. I didn't even think about it. If you've got eggshells, if you're eating quail eggs or whatever, you could take those eggshells, throw them in an oven at 200 degrees, and just bake them till they're nice and dry and brittle. Crunch them up, and you can throw that on top of their food. They'll eat that, too. So, but that's a good idea, Charles. Pulverized crab shells. And we got a lot of crabs around here in Florida. Dragon Girl says, question, do you think the temperature difference on the eggshells may be due to the transpiration or other gas exchanges occurring? Very possible. Never thought of that. But that's thinking outside the box. It's possible. Like I say, I don't concern myself with little details like that in the incubator. Mainly because I know what my incubators are running, and I always get fairly decent hatches. The Chicote Carver. Oh, I lost you. Hold on a second. I'm on my first run of quail, expecting my first eggs any day now. Cool. Congratulations. Good luck. Mark says, down to 4 quail total now. Holy smokes. Easy keeping in the aviary. I guess so. 4 quail from 400 or something. Wow, that's nuts. S. McKee says, Bob, my little giant jumped to 107.2. I called Miller Industries. They sent out a new control box. They said that reading indicated a failed control box. There you go. Big Hoss Gun 74 says, just started my Coturnix journey for the past month. My 3-year-old daughter has been excited to help Daddy every morning with her quail. That's cool. I love to see kids getting involved with quail. To me, it's the perfect. Besides, chickens. Chickens can be fun too if they don't, get chased around. But is overfeeding bad? Eat 30 kilograms of food a day. How many birds are you talking? I know one bird's not eating 30 kilograms a day. Clifton's in the house. Says, good evening from South Mississippi. Just joined a few minutes ago. Any suggestions on flies? Yeah, there's a few things you can do. I don't know if your birds are indoors or out. Mine are indoors, and we keep fans running, so we've got good airflow circulating around the shop, and the manure dries out quick. So I have very few flies in my shop. I do hang a couple of those sticky fly strips, the ones that you unroll them, you know what I mean? It's a little sticky thing. And any stragglers that get in, they usually get caught on that, so I don't have any problems. Make sure you're keeping your manure trays clean and dry. That's going to keep the flies from coming in. You could also, I used to mist pine sol, 50-50 pine sol and water. I used to mist my trays with that, the manure trays. That seemed to keep them away. But the thing that I found that works the best is keep the manure dry. If you're outside, maybe, you could spread some lime on it, or there's some stuff you can get at Tractor Supply called Easy. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Easy something. And that I know works pretty well. It's really expensive. I bought some because I was going to do a review on it. And I thought, you know what? This stuff is too expensive. People aren't going to want to waste that kind of money to sprinkle the stuff on their quail's poop. So I didn't do that. All right. That brings us down to the bottom of the chat room, the questions. So we're going to go ahead and announce the winners, and we've got 2 winners tonight. One is a winner of the photo contest over on Facebook, and the other is just our regular evening winner of hatching eggs. So if I call your name, I need you to email me at terry@coturnixcorner.com, or you can message me over on Facebook, or if you're a member of the Coturnix Corner community, you can message me there with your information. I need, a good address, a good phone number, and a good email. Make sure I get all 3 of those things. So the winner of the hatching eggs is going to Bob Cole. Okay, so Bob, make sure you send me your shipping information, and I will forward that over to Thieving Otter Farm, and you can get some more eggs to throw in your incubator to test out your infrared thermometer. And the winner of, guys, this was the photo contest. It was really, I won't say really hard, but there were several, what do they call them, runner-ups, several finalists that I selected to use. What I'm going to do is, I think every 6 months we'll change the cover photo over there on the Facebook group page, and we'll do the same thing every 6 months. We'll do the same giveaway. But the person that had, in my eyes, the best photo, and I was looking at the photos for, basically composition and the whole layout of the photo and the quality of the photo, and that went to Rebecca Lynch of Thieving Otter Farm. So Rebecca, matter of fact, let me pull up the photo so you guys can see which photo won. That's it. I loved it. I thought that was very cool. I figured that would make a really good Facebook group photo. So we're going to run that photo for 6 months, and then we'll run another one and see if we, can't change it out and give away some more prizes then. So Rebecca, I know you've been wanting one. You're going to get a Coturnix Corner tumbler. You are going to get some hatching eggs from Southwest Game Birds, and you're going to get a $50 Hatching Time gift certificate. So if you would, Rebecca, send me all your shipping information and your email, and I will see to it that you get your prizes. Let me check one more time to see if we have any more questions. Not talking to me. Not talking to me. Bob says, thanks for the eggs. Lost 23 when my LG went crazy. There you go. And you'll love Thieving Otter Farm eggs. She's got some amazing colors. So, yeah, like I say, reach out to me, Bob, with your shipping information. I'll make sure that gets forwarded over to Rebecca. All right, guys. If there's no more questions, we're going to go ahead and pull the plug on this one. It actually went a little bit longer than I expected it to, but you guys have a great 4th of July. Stay safe, especially if you're shooting off fireworks. Don't blow off the phalanges. You kind of need those. Yeah, we will see you next week. Like I say, we're going to try a new software. I've already tested it, so we're going to try that new software. Hey, Rebecca, you're in the house. While you're in here, Rebecca, let me put up the photo of the winning photo. You recognize that one? Oh, I don't know if you're driving or not. Maybe you're just listening to it. But anyhow, Rebecca, you won. So send me your shipping info. All right, guys. Have a great rest of the week and upcoming weekend. We'll see you next week, Tuesday. And I'm going to see if I can't dig up a guest. I actually have 3 different people that have already been asking me to come on the live stream. But I need to make sure what dates are good for them. So, guys, have a great week, and we'll see you next week. And happy 4th of July.